Yo, what's up, y'all? Getting ready to have a little special live. We got Jay Ecko coming up here, and we got Duane coming up here. Got an interview coming out soon, in a couple minutes, actually. We're just gonna have a little quick live to kind of talk about it. It's gonna come out right after this live here, so you guys look out for that. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. What's going on, Jamie? What's going on, man? Appreciate that, man. Hold on, let me try to invite. Not able to join. Crap. Hold on 1 second, yo. Try to invite him again. There we go. For the people that's coming in right now, we're having a little live. Let's Rock Podcast having a little live with our next interviewee, Duane Bumpass. Man, that interview's coming up. It's gonna be uploaded. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe to the YouTube. It's gonna be up there in a few minutes right after the live. There's Jay Ecko. What's going on, Jay?
Trying to turn my camera.
Oh. We got Duane coming up here in a few minutes.
Boom. There we go. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing?
Let's Rock Podcast here. Let's see what's going on here. Hold on 1 second. Oh, there we go. I got to accept it. Hold on. There we go. Yo, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, Ecko?
How you living, brother?
Yeah.
Hey, man, I can't complain, man. They say you've been making moves, man. You stay busy, man.
I mean, I'm trying, you know.
Yeah. So
Definitely.
We got Duane Bumpass up here, man, on our next interview. Gets up here, gonna talk to him for a few minutes on live. That interview is gonna be out right after this live here. So make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, man. What's going on?
Yeah, definitely. Everybody seen the snippets or whatever. They feeling it.
Make sure you guys follow us, follow Duane, follow Jay Ecko. Like I said, this thing's gonna be up and live right after this live here, man. We're gonna have a little conversation here to talk to Duane, talk to Jay Ecko. And if anybody got any questions for any one of us, Duane, myself, or Jay Ecko, man, I know we don't get to do this very often, but when we do, man, it's a blessing to be able to do this.
Yeah.
So we can get started, man. Basically, the interview is speaking on, we had it dedicated in parts, pretty much talking about Duane's book, man, as I assume his very first book, an amazing book, How I Raised Four Successful Black Sons. Make sure you guys go pick this up, man. Amazing book, man. Great interview, man. We actually did it live, man. It was one of our very first shows live.
Yep, first live and living color situation.
Yeah, it definitely was epic.
Definitely.
Y'all go follow Let's Rap Podcast, man. It's some nice knowledge on there, man. Y'all definitely want to get up on that.
Can't wait for you guys to see this interview. It's a great interview, man. Duane, so go ahead and kind of talk about it, man. Give people a little bit of what it's about. How did this start for you? And what's next, man?
Yeah, that definitely the book started from like the success from the blended family aspect, from people seeing our kids grow up and how we were able to, sustain the blended family and keep everybody at a tight knit and to make sure everybody was successful at that point. So I kind of put the blueprint out there in the book for everybody to, take advantage of getting that knowledge.
Yeah. So, kind of talk about like what's been kind of the what have you learned since writing this book, man? How has it been, and what can you kind of tell others about that's kind of going through the same similar struggle, or you know?
I definitely see from writing the book is a lot of people reaching out, saying that we needed this as a people for us to, be able to maneuver through the different situations that we have as black fathers and also black mothers, as far as, sometimes you might have a blended family. It might be a single mother, single father situation, and y'all trying to, all reach the same goal as far as getting that child to a successful point where you want them to be able to, run their own life and stand on their own 2 feet. And by me spreading that out there, I see the different things coming to my way. Like I was in Baltimore Times paper. Andrea Blackistone, Baltimore Times, shout out to them, reached out and they wanted to interview me on that and put out that news article. And I got some other things in the works as far as, of course, everybody know I was on the Let's Talk rap podcast,
Yeah,
which has jumped out there and now is opening up some other opportunities for me, some speaking engagements and things of that nature. Yeah, J Ecko got that Baltimore Times there. Yes, sir. And it's all about the start from this right here.
yeah,
Hey, IRA successful. Yeah,
yeah, man. We really appreciate you coming on, man, and really appreciate, actually, man, it was a great conversation. I feel like it's a conversation, man, that needed to be had, man. A conversation that needed to be talked about. I don't think a lot of those conversations are talked about, man. So, what's up, y'all? Make sure you guys kind of, again, man, follow Let's Rap Podcast, follow J Ecko, and also follow Duane Bumpass. Man. We're talking to Duane Bumpass here, author of the How I Raised 4 Black Sons.
And definitely, if they don't have the book, definitely go to Bump Easy, 77, and the link is in my bio. Y'all can get the book from there. It can get autographed and it gets shipped out to you the next day. If you don't get it from there, you can get it from Amazon, Books A Million, Barnes and Noble. All of the networks have the book, and it's some good information in it. Even for young kids, teenagers, it'll help you communicate with your parents and things of that nature. Maybe you can, smooth some things out with them as well.
Yeah. So, kind of talk about, how was your relationship kind of raising your sons to now? What is it like now?
Now, matter of fact, from after the Baltimore Times article, I after the interviews were all done from the older boys, I was able to see, how they really felt about growing up, and to see them speak on me and speak of me so highly that really, it touched my heart. That, I really touched them in a way where they can go off and be successful. And I have no doubt in the world that they'll be able to do what they need to do and accomplish it from what I instilled in them.
I can imagine it's probably things that maybe they probably didn't tell you, before.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
things I don't know about that, they never really say it to me. Us as males, we really don't talk to each other.
We ain't telling nobody.
Yeah.
We don't really tell nobody how we feel or whatever, but it's easier for them to tell somebody else or whatever and put it out in that way that, how they really feel about the situation.
And as we kind of talked about in the interview, also how, you also telling your sons, hey, you're proud of them.
Yeah.
And now they're telling you now how they're proud that you taught them how you raised them as their father.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
And that's crazy because, it's like, we're not telling each other that, right?
Exactly.
And it kind of goes back to this concept of like how the whole podcast started. It ultimately starts with men talking to other men.
Communication. Yeah, we have a problem with communicating with each other and helping each other out. That's one of the biggest problems with the black, race, that we don't communicate with each other. We always keep it sheltered and try to compete with each other instead of, working together to accomplish that same goal.
Yeah, one of the other things I love about this is, there's a myth going around there that black men especially are not present as fathers. Meanwhile, if you look at the research, Black men are some of the most present fathers in the world right now. So just shining a light on the type of not even expectation, but the type of standard that we are setting is something that I'm glad we were able to do.
Correct.
Yeah.
And like I told y'all, I appreciate y'all bringing me on, putting that positive vibe out there for the Black fathers or whatever. That was real epic that y'all did a show like that. Most of y'all shows are epic anyway. I've been checking all the ones out. Y'all talk about the topics that nobody else want to talk about. Y'all stuff is meaningful. And that's the stuff that don't get pumped out into the media, is the meaningful stuff that can make people better, us as a Black race. And they don't do that.
Exactly.
We do what we can. That's all we can do.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we got to talk on it, right? But also being able to help others understand that, it's okay to talk about it.
Exactly.
Right.
And y'all definitely see when you drop this part 1 tonight, they'll definitely see. They gonna be begging for part 2 when we get to the end of that part 1, because it's gonna get real deep. It's gonna get real deep.
Oh man. Oh yeah. Because it's kind of exploring, relationships, with someone that has children, how to handle that dynamic pressure of it. And just being able to still have that sacrifice, about it, like, having that sacrifice, but also being able to have your identity as a man, but as a father.
Exactly. And you both of y'all read the book. You know how I touched in there on, you guys start them out early, teaching them to be a man.
Yeah.
You don't want to baby them to be little boys forever. You want to give them that responsibility early. Yeah. That way they'll be able to handle that once they go out there.
But also
yes, sir. What's up, Mike? I see you.
Hey, what's up? What's going on? What's going on?
Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe, Francis, to the Let's Pop Rap podcast. They're gonna drop the first part of the episode tonight. Y'all make sure y'all go and follow that on YouTube.
Yeah, make sure you guys follow us. I'm gonna put out a reel right after this is over. Also, I'm gonna put out the link. The link is also in our bio. Also, it's going to be out right after this live. Part 1's going to be out right after this live, so you guys look out for that. So we should be on probably another 30 minutes. Just kind of talking about, pre-show of the interview with Duane Bumpass. Man, I tell you, that part 1 probably. And the most surprising thing about it is also that being able to, me and Jay not being fathers, right? And it's important to have these conversations because it's preparation.
Oh yeah.
Right. And people don't realize that even if you don't have kids at this time, I'm sure people are dealing with relationships. This is like the blueprint to make sure that relationship is successful.
Yeah.
And it'll kind of tell you, like, before going into that relationship, what you need to prepare yourself for if you want it to be successful.
Yeah.
Just like Ecko touched on it in the show, most relationships you're going into nowadays, everybody got kids already, mostly. So you gotta know how to maneuver around that, so that you can make that relationship successful.
Yeah. Not only that, you gotta it takes a step to sacrifice, right?
Yeah.
Having identity, right, but also wanting the best for your children, right?
Of course.
The relationship, you got to be on the same page.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And like you keep saying, that selfishness, that unselfishness got to be there.
Yeah.
You got to have that when you're dealing with kids, because without that, you're not going to give them the undivided attention that they need, because you're going to be so concentrated on yourself, you're going to leave them behind.
But I also feel like we as men is like we're stepping into situations needing the situation to be perfect, but also we didn't get a chance to really talk about this either, but I know from speaking for myself and probably all other men out there, I just want to say that, when you're in a relationship, you're married or whatever the case, dating with someone that you feel is serious, it's okay to work on yourself.
Of course. You always got to grow. You got to grow every day. And you have to.
Yeah, and that's not what's going on right
If you're not growing in a relationship, then that relationship is doomed to fail. Because let's be real about it. let's be real about it. A lot of, especially these days, a lot of relationships are based on potential, like your potential for growth, your potential for your potential for like, are you a potential business partner? Are you a potential father? Are you a potential, all of that sort of stuff.
Exactly.
And if you never capitalize on that potential, then you've just wasted everybody's time, including your own. So there's no point in.
We're depending on our partners to bring out that potential, right?
That's never gonna work.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Like I was talking to my wife and also my boss on this. She made a good point, is that we expect our partners to make us kings, right? And right, so it's almost like we're putting the pressure on our partner to be something who they should be. But what are we doing in the meanwhile? How are we getting better? You know what I mean?
And in order to make each other better, you gotta both jump into the relationship not expecting someone to always have everything. You're never gonna find that perfect relationship where somebody's gonna have everything, their ducks in a row, and you're gonna have your ducks in a row. And that's why a lot of people are single now, because they looking for that perfect relationship. The only thing that's gonna make that relationship perfect is them two people working together to create that perfect situation.
Yeah. And we watch a lot of relationship shows and learn from them. And I'll never forget this line, man, that I kind of want to talk about, going forward, is like taking the 70%.
Yeah.
Heard of that kind of phrase?
Yeah.
Yeah, where it's like no relationship's 100%. Take the 70%.
You got to take it, and you got to build on the rest of it.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
People don't want to do that because they want the easy fix. They want the thing already built.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. There is no easy fix. Like because people don't change unless, it's fortunately or unfortunately, however you want to look at it. I'm gonna say fortunately, people don't change unless either they want to or they have no other choice. Right?
Correct. And by that time, it's doomed.
Exactly.
What does that means of no other choice, though?
That means you go into the ground zero part of the relationship.
Well, yeah,
that is about
why does it take you potentially losing someone for a temporary? I feel like sometimes that's an extreme to where that's just temporary.
True.
But it is an extreme, and I agree with you. It's a temporary fix because you're being forced to change at that point. You're not choosing to change.
Yeah.
And
go ahead.
Yeah, just like Ecko saying, when you forced to do something, trust me, you're gonna go back to your other ways because that's not how you really do it. Ecko hit on that's what it's very true what he's saying.
The second you get back comfortable, you're gonna be back to what you were doing. And so like you have to make the choice, like, okay, do I want to end up back at ground zero, like you said, or am I going to make changes to get to the 100%?
Yeah.
And too many of us, and this isn't preaching because I'm sure all of us have been in that situation where it's just like, oh yeah, we good now. I'm a chill. I'm a fall back. I'm a rest on my heels.
Go back to the old ways.
Exactly. Go get back. We've all done it.
Yeah.
So it is.
But but instead of choosing someone that like you can build something with, right?
Exactly.
And we're choosing partners where we have to mold them into building something, right?
Exactly.
That they potentially may not even agree with.
Yeah.
Or they may be open to.
That's where communication comes in, where you gotta be able to communicate and put it out there like, hey, I'm looking to build to this, and this. And I want this, and this for your child. I want to, treat your child as my child. And if they can't see that picture, then it's like you at the end of the road right there at the beginning of the relationship.
Well, let's keep it real. I mean, sometimes it takes a great amount of trust.
Yes.
To trust someone else with your child.
Yes.
Right. Because
I mean, we had this conversation before. Like one of my greatest fears is that somebody's child just looks at me straight up and is like, "Well, you're not my father." And it's like,
There you go.
after I've done all this,
And,
after
but as
what you mean,
and when we jumped into that on, I don't know if it was part 1 or part 2, but we jumped in that and talked about that on how
kids crazy. Kids aren't stupid.
No, not at all.
They know who you know what I mean, who their mother should feel safe with.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
And if they're not you, that's a red flag.
Yeah, because that ends it right there. Everybody got to be on the same page, even the children that are in that relationship. It's like it got to be one accord. Because if not, you're going to have all different directions, and that everybody not going to go to the same road.
So kind of talk about, man, what's next? What are some things that you want to, because I know we mentioned in an interview also that, you had a lot of hiccups personally for you as far as where to start, where you were going. You said you felt a little bit nervous as far as like putting this out, right?
Yeah.
So how,
as far as the book, correct.
Yeah. How has that changed now?
Yeah, because I had to step into a different element or whatever, like I explained to both of y'all when we shot the show.
Yeah.
I wasn't really an author or anything of that nature, but it's like I got out of my comfort zone and I was pushed towards putting the book together and put my thoughts on paper so that it could help everybody else out. Mm-hmm. So now that that's out and I see people are taking to it well and they feel as though we need more of this, you got people screaming for another book already, and I ain't even finished getting this one promoted and put out there yet. Yeah. They want a part 2. Yeah. They asking for an entrepreneur book. They want a part 2 of like what's going on with the kids now, and because basically the books takes you up to about probably 2 years prior. Mm-hmm. So it's like. You know how they had the shows, Where Are They Now type shows or whatever. They want to know that next book. They want to know what's the rest of it.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm really pretty much just concentrating on this book right now and trying to make sure everybody gets that piece of nugget out of it. So that my whole goal in writing the book or whatever was to help other people advance and succeed. Yeah, I didn't do it as far as looking for financial gain and things of that nature. I like helping people, so that was my whole focus. If I took the time to write the book, it'll tell you on the back of the book. As long as I help one family, 2 families, that's my goal. And if it goes further than that, then that's fine. Mm-hmm. But if we put more productive families into the community, it'll be a better place.
Yeah,
there you go.
But we also have to change the dynamic of how a family unit should be.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Go ahead, Jay.
So I had a question for you because you put a lot into the book and there were a lot of things you touched on. But what is a part of the book that you that nobody has asked you about yet? Something that you want people to take away that a lot of people aren't really paying attention to, even if it is.
The chapter where I touched on giving your child a voice.
Okay, yeah.
You hear people discuss it, but they kind of overlook the child, so to speak. Mm-hmm. Where that's the biggest part of this book, having that open communication with your child. Because you gotta have your child comfortable to be able to speak up for themselves and express to you what they would like to do in life and things of that nature. That's one of the parts that I want people to really key in on and push on, because that's like the main ingredients of letting your child be an actual individual.
So how important is it now today in 2023 as far as, we spoke about, the fatherhood and everything, to where I've spoken about this as far as like the success rate of fathers raising children as a single man are higher than a woman raising their children as a single mother, right?
Exactly.
Kind of talk about how important it is for, that mother and father to kind of really be on that same page.
Yeah, and like I was talking about when we interviewed, you can be two separate entities, but those two separate entities have to be working together to get that one main goal. And there's a key point that I made in the book where you don't gotta like your teammate, but you gotta work together with your teammate because both of y'all trying to win.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta, as adults, be bigger than the kids aspect, where all of the little bickering and the arguing and the fighting, that has to go out the door because you both should want, as a parent, the best for that child.
Yeah.
So you gotta kind of, work together. And trust me, it's not easy.
It's not.
It's not easy at all. We talked about my hiccups and things of that nature when we was on the show. So make sure y'all check out the show. He gonna drop tonight, and y'all catch all of the nuggets. We getting down and dirty. I'm talking about stuff in my relationship that you won't find in the book. So y'all definitely want to pay attention and go subscribe to the Let's Rap podcast on YouTube, so y'all can catch all of that.
Make sure you guys follow Duane Bumpass. Make sure you guys follow Ecko. Make sure you follow Let's Rap podcast. Like you said, the interview will be out right after this live. We're going to put out a reel with the link and everything. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, and let us know what you think. Kind of, you mentioned some of the hiccups, man, as a man. We all, especially being a black man, especially, it's the hurdles, right? Kind of the mistakes that we make, man. Let's kind of talk about that, because I feel like sometimes not really talk about, man. That could be the reason why a lot of our black men aren't communicating with each other, right?
Correct. And my aspect, like I touched on it when we spoke, my older boys or whatever, they kind of was a learning on the fly to me, because y'all know I was the early father and things of that nature. And I didn't know what I was doing. My oldest son, he kind of taught me. We learned on the fly together. He made me a better man, a better father, better person to handle responsibility, all of that. So when it came to the point of accepting that responsibility, I instilled that drive in myself and him at the same time as we were both growing. And then that's when my wife came into the picture with my other son that was happened to be the same age and the same aspect as far as growth, that he was missing that father figure. So it kind of meshed in together where we could, mold it the way we wanted to and then just move forward as a family. So when the twins came along, the mold was already there. So the things I did wrong with the older boys, I was able to correct that with the twins. So by that being said, there you had the blueprint, because you had the mistakes and then you had the correct ways of doing things, and you was able to correct or grade the test and then move on to that next part of the phase. That's what made that part of it so much more successful when I got to the twins.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to do is get everybody else to skip that mistake phase, because it's right here in the book. It's right there. I don't want you to make those mistakes. I've made those mistakes. Just read the book and let's go flawless with putting them healthy young black successful men into the community.
Yeah. So go ahead, Jay. You had a question?
Nah, not yet. But I did want to ask you. You touched on the dating thing.
Yes.
So where, in your opinion, because I'm guilty of it too. I'm not gonna pretend I'm innocent. But there's this perception that black men especially are not invested in fatherhood, are not